Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into what is literally the ultimate cautionary tale of hitching your wagon to a viral YouTube trend. We're looking at a channel that experienced one of the most astronomical, mind-bending rises in internet history, only to suffer an equally spectacular collapse.
Seriously, how does a channel with 344 million views suddenly start losing subscribers every single day? How do you capture lightning in a bottle, pull in all those eyeballs, and then end up just bleeding your audience dry? The story of FlareTV is basically a masterclass in the absolute dangers of trend chasing.
Section 1. The PewDiePie Effect. Explosive Rise.
You know, FlareTV wasn't always just a subscriber count channel. Back when they launched in January 2018, they were just a regular North American entertainment channel. By June, they had built up a pretty respectable base of around 12,500 subscribers, mostly by making tutorials and live streams about EDM and trap music. But then, on August 30th, 2018, everything flipped. PewDiePie challenged the massive Indian corporate channel T-Series to a subscriber battle. The very next day, August 31st, FlareTV pivoted completely. They launched what would become their infamous live stream, tracking those two subscriber counts in real time. Within 24 hours, they were averaging 155 viewers. A week later, PewDiePie actually featured their live stream in one of his own videos, which instantly netted FlareTV 7,000 new subscribers in a single day.
But get this, in just 3 days, they gained an astonishing 68,000 subscribers. How does that even happen? Well, another massive creator, MrBeast, bought every billboard in his city to promote PewDiePie. The sheer virality of MrBeast's stunt didn't just boost PewDiePie, it caused this massive halo effect. Thousands upon thousands of people flocked to FlareTV just to watch the live results of the billboard campaign, and it utterly shattered their average subscriber growth.
Section 2. Race to 100 million. Hypergrowth.
The sheer velocity here is absolutely staggering. By the end of 2018, FlareTV was sitting at 858,000 subscribers, and their channel views had skyrocketed from 288,000 to over 151 million. By January 21st, 2019, they crossed the 1 million subscriber mark. And then, they gained their second million subscribers in just 56 days. That is insane. This unbelievable growth was fueled by these wild, highly coordinated fan tactics. Viewers were super engaged, pulling off operations like Plan U or Plan Unsubscribe. Basically, fans would intentionally unsubscribe from T-Series and subscribe to PewDiePie just to make it look like he was winning on the stream, only to reverse it moments later. The interactivity was completely off the charts.
So the true scale of this whole phenomenon really comes down to one mammoth number: 344 million. FlareTV's original stream was actually taken down due to a false copyright strike, but they immediately fired up a second one. By the time they ended that second stream on September 10th, 2019, after running it for a year and 10 days straight, it had accumulated a mind-blowing 344 million views. It was a literal cultural phenomenon.
Section 3. The Inevitable Crash. The Aftermath.
But here's where the tragedy of FlareTV hits, and it happened almost overnight. At their absolute peak, they were pulling in 15,000 to 25,000 new subscribers every single day. But soon enough, the grim reality set in, and they were eventually bleeding 10,000 subscribers every single month. You see, on May 23, 2019, T-Series crossed the 100 million mark. A few months later, PewDiePie did the same. The battle was officially over. And as soon as FlareTV turned off that stream in September, the decay really began.
Because here is the golden rule of content creation, folks. The audience was loyal to the battle, not the channel. Without the core cultural phenomenon driving their views, they were left with an audience that simply had zero reason to stick around anymore. The people who subscribed, they didn't care about FlareTV's brand, they just cared about whether PewDiePie or T-Series was winning. Once the war ended, the entire utility of the channel ended right along with it.
Section 4. Why the sequel failed. Lightning strikes once.
So, jump to June of 2020. PewDiePie releases a video targeting the rapidly growing kids channel CoComelon. FlareTV immediately fires up a brand new live stream, desperately hoping to recreate that 2018 magic. But this time, nobody in the YouTube community cared. Literally not a single major creator stepped in to help.
So why didn't the CoComelon War save them? Well, they ran into 4 pretty insurmountable problems. First off, the trend had just gotten old. Even PewDiePie wasn't making weekly videos about it like he did with T-Series. Second, a race for second place really lacks prestige. T-Series was already sitting at number 1. Fighting just to keep PewDiePie at number 2 wasn't a compelling narrative. Third, YouTube introduced subscriber abbreviation, which we'll dive into in a second. And fourth, the growth gap was just way too wide. PewDiePie was growing pretty slowly, and CoComelon was exploding, making it a completely uncompetitive and, frankly, boring race to watch.
Let's talk more about reason number 3, because this update profoundly impacted them. Subscriber Abbreviation was a platform-wide update that rolled out in 2019. It effectively killed the primary thrill of watching a live, real-time subscriber counter tick up digit by digit. Instead of seeing this thrilling neck-and-neck race changing by the millisecond, viewers just saw static rounded numbers that only updated occasionally. It completely ruined the live tracking format that FlareTV heavily relied on. In fact, later on, when another channel called Set India started gaining on PewDiePie, FlareTV didn't even bother making a stream. The format was totally dead.
Section 5. Where is FlareTV now? The ghost town.
Fast forward to July 2026, and the channel is a total ghost town. They still have 2.02 million subscribers, which is basically a relic of their golden age, but they haven't uploaded a video since May 8, 2024. And that video itself was uploaded after a massive 3-year break. Today, this channel with over 2 million subscribers is bleeding followers monthly and barely scraping 1,000 views a day.
Yet, bizarrely, the team behind it is still somewhat active in the background, occasionally dropping these highly eccentric community posts. Just look at this one from 2025. What you do if a whale got in your moat. A completely random, bizarre post that received a grand total of 49 likes and 13 comments. That is a staggering drop in engagement for a channel that used to command millions of daily eyeballs.
So, we leave you with this final thought for today's explainer. Can a channel built entirely on someone else's trend ever survive its end? FlareTV capitalized perfectly on a cultural moment, but they forgot to build a channel identity of their own. Hitching a ride on a rocket will absolutely take you to the stars, but what happens to you when the fuel finally runs out? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.